What's going on, G.I. Joes and Barbies? For this episode, I'm coming at you with a discussion. I think this is important to talk about, and I think people should pay attention to. Um, Now, before I go into that topic, I just want to say the gameplay you're looking at here is Velapax Level 5. The map is titled Apollyon. It's the third level from, at least as of me making this video, third of the four maps in Brett Harrell's WAD Velapax. The map slots that are taken up are maps 1, 2, 5, and 30. For some reason, though, he hasn't actually got around in finishing the WAD yet, so yeah, the WAD is still in beta form. I mean, the levels, however, are like maps 1, 2, and 5 are pretty much done, unless the author specified that they're not done. But I mean, I'm hoping that at some point in the future, maybe the person who made this WAD can actually finish up and add some new levels in, as well as ironing out bugs if needed. If there's a bug on a map that causes some weird things, then the author can fix that. But anyways, that's if you want to watch the whole playthrough of this map, I mean, I may give you either a link in a description, or I may give you a card that will take you to the full playthrough of that map. So the map is very long. It took me almost 3 hours to beat the level, but you know what? I love it. I love it when it's a long map. So I wish there's more of those maps around. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, the point is, it's there if you want to check it out. The playthrough of this map. So, anyways, and now on to this topic. So, what's this topic about? Well, the topic and the reason why I want to make this is because I think this is something that we're guilty of. Is that, and this one is about promises. Why I want to talk about that is because this is something that we're guilty of. Okay, we're guilty is that, like, when we make promises, sometimes we don't stick to them. Okay, and some people don't follow through at all. Some people never follow promises. Okay. And here's the question for you: when you promise someone something, when you make a promise, and you know what? I've seen this on Review Tech USA's channel. The debacle between Angry Joe and his fans when he was talking about the YouTube disconnect, where Angry Joe, if you don't know what a YouTube disconnect is, I'm sure Review Tech USA's talked about it. It's when content creators don't understand why people are subscribed to their channels, and as the subscriber, the people don't know why they came to that channel. That's a YouTube disconnect. Okay, and what happened when it comes to a situation with Angry Joe is that he promised his fans something. I mean, if you want to watch a full discussion video about it, I mean, Review Tech USA has a video about it. It's basically he promised his fans something and he didn't follow through, and people got angry at him for it. So now, why do I want to bring that up? Do you want to know why? It's because that's what happens when you don't follow through your promises. Okay, when you say you're going to do something to the person's advantage, when you say it, you're expected to. You're making that your duty. You're making that your responsibility. Like, say if you want to get someone a birthday gift, okay. If you want to get someone a birthday gift, and if you promised a person about the birthday gift and a birthday comes around and you didn't do it as promised, that person's gonna get mad at you. Okay, that's what happens. Okay, And you want to know what makes things worse is when you make excuses as to why you didn't do something for the benefit of the person. Okay, do something to benefit the person. Excuses make things worse. Okay, because excuses to me are lies. Okay, when you make excuses, they're lies. To me, it's like telling lies. When you lie to someone, especially if you do it multiple times, that person's not going to trust you anymore. Okay, and your chances of once you lose the trust from that person, once you start losing the trust, it's hard to get it back. Okay, let's put it that way. And think about it this way, okay? Like, say you work in an IT company from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, okay? Say your manager approaches you and has a project and says, okay, I have this project. I need you to get it done by Friday, 5 p.m. of next week. And you say, okay, I'm going to do it. And the deadline comes around. Okay, the deadline comes around and your manager asks you, where's the project? And if you're a person who says something like, oh, I didn't get a chance to do it, or if you say, oh, there's no hurry, I'll get to that at some point. No, trust me on this one. You want to know what's going to happen because you didn't do the project as you were asked to do. You want to know what's going to happen. And here's the response from a manager, okay? A manager will say things like, okay, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to clear out your desk and leave because you're fired because you're incompetent. I'm just telling you the way it is, okay? You know, when you say, like, when you promise things and you don't follow through, people won't trust you. Okay, they're not going to trust you. They'll find somebody else to trust. Okay, since there's so many other people living on this planet, you know, they'll find somebody else. Okay, so I'm just letting you know what can happen if you don't follow through your promises. Okay, and as I said about the project in an IT company, you know, if you don't do what you're asked and you're given excuses to why you didn't do the project, you know, you become unemployed and companies won't trust you anymore. Okay, well, I mean, if you try to get another, I mean, not only you'd lose your job, but it ends your career. And if you try to get a job elsewhere, companies are not going to hire you. Okay, they're not going to hire you because, you know, they found out that you've been fired from a previous company because you didn't do what you were asked to do, or you've done some stupid things there. Okay, so trust is important. It's not something that can be easily obtained. Okay, so I also want to say that that the reason why I redid this topic is because in the original video, I showed it to a person. And he says that some of the things that I've said can be interpreted as a threat. Like I said, something like if society doesn't shape up, there's going to be consequence. And that's something the person pointed out and said that could be interpreted as a threat. And, you know, that's something that law enforcement can come after me for saying. And I want to give you a heads up that when I said, you know, if society doesn't shape up, there's going to be consequence. When I said that, which, I mean, the original video is now gone, but back when I said that in the original video, which was up a day or two back, I'm not threatening to cause any kind of harm, okay? This is more like I'm just letting you in on a reality of what can happen if you don't do something to properly adjust yourself, okay? It's more like I'm just letting you in on a reality. It's not a threat or anything like that. It's more like, you know, what happens if you don't, you know, take corrective action. Like, an example would be like, let's say climate change, okay? If, like, we all know that if you live in the United States, I mean, the United States is is notorious for gas-powered vehicles. Okay, and think about it. And if I were to say if we don't do anything to combat climate change, there's going to be consequence. Is that a threat? No, it isn't. Now, you may be asking, what's the consequence going to be? Well, answer is ecological disasters, okay? Animals could go extinct. We're going to end up with really powerful storms. Our planet's going to be extremely hot because, there, maybe some holes in the ozone layer, and the surface temperature can rise significantly, and it's going to create a large number of problems, okay? And humans could be the next species to go extinct, okay, unless we do something about climate change. Now, when I said there's going to be consequences, does this sound like I'm making a threat to you? No, it isn't, okay? No, this is more like I'm letting you in on the reality of what can happen if you don't take corrective action, okay? So, just want to point that out to you. Now, about the promises, okay? As far as promises are concerned, and I'm going to sum things up for everyone to understand and hopefully will not be taken out of context, is don't make promises that you can't keep, okay? Don't, okay? If you can't keep a promise, don't even make it, okay? It's that simple, alright? And when you do make a promise, make sure you stick to it, because that's important when it comes to maintaining trust, okay? So, anyways, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this discussion, make sure you leave a like. And if you like to see more of my activities and you have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. As always, thank you for your time in watching this video, and I hope that all of you have a good one.